What's going on, everybody? Sorry, I should have taken the swig before I said hello. Justin, are you watching these daily, or are you going by the playlist and you'll get this eventually? So let me know. That's so cool that you're following these. Love it, love it, love it. So let's continue in the New Living. If something's not right, we will check it out in the King James. If we still can't figure it out, we'll go to the Greek. None of them could stand against, excuse me, the wisdom of the Holy Spirit, which Stephen spoke. And I can tell you, there is not a false preacher on this earth that the Holy Spirit won't give me the ability to sit down with without a computer and rip him to shreds. Now, if I have a laptop with me or a desktop or whatever, cell phone if necessary, though I hate using those, I hate having all that electromagnetic field pulsating into my body because I can feel it. I'm very sensitive to that stuff. They wouldn't stand a chance then. You give me a computer, I'll sit there with 10 preachers, a Baptist, a Methodist, a rabbi, a priest, Church of Christ. And I hope they're all my age or older. So they've been in the business for 50, for 40 something years, maybe 30. I want one that knows the Bible backwards and forwards. Give me a computer and I'd take every denomination on. Put me on a stage. Because the Holy Spirit is just that powerful. Because the truth, the Holy Spirit is the Spirit of truth, and Jesus is the truth. Jesus is the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is Jesus. They are both God through a different form or pathway. If somebody ever tells you there are three persons of God, don't listen to them. Then they'll go to the word Elohim and it says, let us make man in our image. They're like, see, God's talking to all, God the Father's talking to the other person, Jesus. And he's talking to, You look up that H430, Elohim, plural. That is God inclusive with his angels. Angels is actually one of the definition of Elohim. So who is God speaking to? The angels that helped him with creation. So don't ever let anybody try to trick you, man. I came upon a trickster that I met during the lockdown. She came to me from YouTube through her Instagram. Then we became Facebook friends. Through the lockdowns, she understood election predestination. She understood everything. But she got this false teaching from Jim Brown at Grace and Truth Ministries. And she hit me with it. I saw her on Facebook going at it with this guy. And I commented on the post. They were both wrong. Blind leading the blind, lest they both fall into the ditch. I came at both of them. He never said a word. I went to her in Messenger and tried to study with her. That was her argument. She had some other argument too. And I explained that to her also. Can't remember what it was. But there's so much false teaching out there. So Stephen through the Holy Spirit. Let's just say the Holy Spirit is knocking them down left and right like bowling pins through Stephen. Stephen can't do a single thing by Stephen, by way of Stephen. Just like I can't do a single thing good or in truth without the Holy Spirit literally doing it for me. It's impossible. So they persuaded some men to lie about Stephen, saying, "We heard him blaspheme Moses and even God." This roused the people, the elders, the teachers of religious law. They arrested Stephen and brought him before the high council. The lying witnesses said, "This man is always speaking against the holy temple and against the law of Moses. We have heard him say that this Jesus of Nazareth will destroy the temple and change the customs Moses handed down to us." Oh, like what? Circumcision, water baptism. In other words, any ritual. At this point, everyone in the high council stared at Stephen because his face became as bright as an angel's. See, once you come unto your appointed time as a sheep, when you're about to come into your glory. Now, you come into your glory when you are raised from the dead, but you yourself, it'll seem like to you the moment that you died. You ever slept and not dreamed? You just slept and you woke up. You didn't even get up to use the bathroom or anything, which that never happens with me. I got fast kidneys, but and always have. But so you wake up after 8 hours and you're like, golly, where'd the time go? Hang on just a quick second. All right, everybody. That was Michael. Very good. Good stuff. Wow. Blown away. Blown away by everything he's laying down there. Fascinating stuff. So, okay. And we'll destroy the temple, customs of Moses handed down to us. At this point, everyone in the high council stared at Stephen because his face became as bright as angels. Then, next chapter, then the high priest asked Stephen, "Are these accusations true?" This was Stephen's reply. "Brothers and fathers, listen to me. Our glorious God appeared to our ancestor Abraham in Mesopotamia." I think he's going to tell he tells the whole very long story, if I'm not mistaken. And then we'll get to his death. And then Paul was present at Stephen's stoning when he was Saul, one of the Pharisees. Paul was present at Stephen's stoning. Bible verse. Acts 2:20. "And when the blood of your witnesses Stephen was shed, I stood there giving my approval, guarding the clothes of those who were killing him." How do you like those apples? So Paul, before he got the call on the road to Damascus, when he was Saul, not the Old Testament Saul, but Paul, who wrote most of the epistles, was once named Saul, and he took part in Stephen's stoning. "And when the blood of the martyr Stephen was shed, I also was standing by, consenting unto his death, and kept the raiment of them that slew him." So, until you get the call, you will act as a goat. Lost sheep live a goat's lifestyle until they get the call. Saul or Paul, Saul/Paul, never had any free will. to bring him out of it. Jesus called him on the road to Damascus. Now he speaks to our hearts to get us out of the world. It feels like it's our intelligence, but it's not. Then the high priest asked Stephen, "Are these accusations true?" This was Stephen's reply. "Brothers and fathers, listen to me. Our glorious God appeared to our ancestor Abraham in Mesopotamia before he settled in Haran. God told him, 'Leave your native land and your relatives and come into the land that I will show you.'" All right. That's the end of that. Let's get over to Daniel. "His own household will cause his downfall. His armies will be swept away." And who are we talking about here? "And the king of the south will battle a mighty army, but to no avail, for there will be plots against him, his own household." Very good. "His own household, king of the south." Hang on, and I'll go ahead and set these up. All right, king of the south in blue, king of the north in green. And the Antichrist is the king of the north. "His own household will cause his downfall. His army will be swept away, and many will be killed, seeking nothing but each other's harm. These kings will plot against each other at the conference table, attempting to deceive each other, but it will make no difference, for the end will come at the appointed time. The king of the north will then return home with great riches. On the way, he will set himself up against the people of the Holy Covenant." Let's put them in red, or really pink, because we're the bride of Christ, whatever you want to call that, "doing much damage before continuing his journey. Then at the appointed time, he will once again invade the south." So see, he's king of the north. "But this time the result will be different, for warships from western coastlands will scare him off, and he will withdraw and return home, but he will vent his anger against the people of the Holy Covenant and reward those who forsake the covenant. His army will take over the temple fortress, pollute the sanctuary, put a stop to the daily sacrifices, and set up the sacrilegious object that causes desecration. He will flatter and win over those who have violated the covenant, but the people who know their God will be strong and resist him." Love you very much. Ask questions anytime. That's what I'm here for.